Okay guys, I was just reading in Ecclesiastes 3 and oh my gosh, I have seen this in a new light. So you know the verse or the chapter here, the beginning where it says there is a time for everything. But if you really dive into it, you see, I'm just going to read it to you. So it starts in verse 1. It says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." Under heaven meaning on earth. So God is so specific here to say there is a season and a time for every matter on earth. A time to be born and a time to die. Death is imminent, guys. It's going to happen, and that's okay. There's a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. There's a time to kill and a time to heal. You need time to heal, and that's okay. There's a time to break down. There is a time to heal your brain. There's a time where you can break down, but remember not to stay there. There's a time to build up. So allow yourself to break down and to deal with your emotions and your feelings, and then don't stay there. Move on so that and allow God to build you up. There's a time to weep. Guys, crying. Girls, crying is okay. There's also a time to laugh. There's a time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. Guys, there's a time to send things away and there's a time to gather and to bring everything in. There's a time to embrace and there's a time to refrain from embracing. There's a time to seek, to go after things, and there's a time to lose, just to let it all go. There's a time to keep, and to keep everything real tight, and there's a time to send it all away, a time to cast away. There's a time to tear, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak. There's a time to love, and a time to hate, a time for war, and a time for peace. So guys, don't get discouraged in your seasons. Remember that there is a time for everything and that it takes time. As you can see here, it takes time. I hope that encourages you guys. Trust the process and let God, remember that God gives us permission to feel and that He will use you for His glory. Alrighty.